Hey everyone, it's Lisa, and it's Wednesday, and I had not really planned on making a video today. It's just kind of like a cloudy day. I think we have like a tropical storm or something coming up towards South Carolina, and so I'm kind of bummed. I'm bummed for a couple of different reasons, and I think that's kind of what inspired me to do this video. I usually try not to make videos on days that I don't feel good, unless it's on Friday and I feel like I have to. But anyway, but I really hate, and this is silly, and it's, if you can't relate, it's going to sound really silly, but it upsets me so bad when the rain like beats my flowers up. It's like I nurture them this whole time, and then the rain comes and beats them up. So I've already brought a lot of them under the porch and inside, but so that always bums me out when I get up and I know it's going to rain for just like days. It has just been raining so long that it's just soggy. And but another thing, yesterday I had like a virtual doctor's appointment just with my regular doctor. I just wanted to ask him some questions about my stomach issues, which if you've been here with me, you know I have like IBS. But the main thing is I've got everything like under control. I don't have any issues as far as like bathroom issues right now, but it's just hard for me when I can't eat salads. I love salads. That was like something that I ate every day, if not sometimes twice a day. And now I just cannot eat any vegetables, not even frozen. Now, I am going to try again. It's scary because it's not just something that I try and whoops, my stomach hurts that day, I can't eat that. It's something, it's like a chain of events. Once my stomach gets upset that I've eaten something, it starts off like a chain of events that I won't go into. And sometimes it can last like up to 2 weeks of just, paying for what I ate. So it's scary to me to try different things. So I wanted to talk to my doctor about that, and I did, and I got something else that I'm trying now, and if it works, I will share it with you. I don't want to talk about it now just because I want to just give it just a free chance in my mind without anybody saying anything about it. But what happened that I'm going to talk about today, and I hate to do it won't be. I hate to do so many talking videos at one time, but I feel like if I want to do these videos where I talk to you about things that have helped me in my life. I'm certainly not a life coach. I'm not a therapist. I'm not anyone, but I think a very happy person in my life. I have down times of some days, but it's usually just a little part of a day. It's not like I'm down for long periods of time, and I think that's normal. I do not think that we are guaranteed happiness in life. And I even when I'm praying, I try not to really, happiness is really not what I pray for. I pray for health and things like that, but I just feel like happiness is not something that we're always guaranteed. And if you feel that way, then you're going to have more depression and more downtime if you're expecting a guaranteed happy life. You know what I mean? So I won't go too much deeper into that, but it does kind of lead into what I'm going to talk about today, and that is self-awareness and like accountability to yourself. And I've thought about this for a long time, and I really didn't, start thinking about this until years after I was divorced the first time. And in my talks like this, I probably will talk about my first marriage a lot, because that was, from 19 to 25. And then I met Jon when I was 27. And that is like a big chunk of my life that I feel like, I don't know if I grew that much in that time. But after that time, just reflecting back on those years, boy, it's just life-changing. And so I love sharing things that I learned, especially with I don't know, it doesn't even have to be younger girls. I think things that I talk about can apply to any age, but I would love to help some people that are going through some of these things. So that's why I want to share, and it's good for me too, because I don't know, it's good to have deep thoughts, I think. So, okay, so what brought about this for me to talk about today is weight gain. And I know we have all, kind of been talking about this lately with the COVID and everything. And, it's a kind of a joke, the COVID 10 or 15 or whatever it is. And, I too have put on some weight. I have not been weighing myself. And that's kind of like something I can go back and forth on. Sometimes I think it's good to weigh yourself every day, especially if you're not wanting to, let things get out of hand. And then sometimes I think it's good not to weigh yourself every day if you're getting obsessed with it. Or if I don't know, sometimes like the last couple of weeks, I just didn't care. I just didn't care. And I thought, I'll go into a little bit more, but I thought, I can't eat what I want to eat. I can't eat healthy. So I'm just going to, do this, and this. Well, yesterday before that doctor's appointment, which he didn't even ask me how much I weighed. I thought since it was a virtual appointment, he would probably ask me how much I weighed, since they usually weigh you, as soon as you go back to a doctor's appointment. I'm sorry I'm messing with my hair. I just had it done, and Morgan did a blowout, and it's a little bit straighter than I'm used to, but I'm trying to just go with it for something different, or not straighter, but kind of flatter. So, sorry. But anyway, so I weighed myself, and John was in the shower, and the scales are like right in front of the shower. And he knew it was probably not going to be good, because I had already talked about it. I discussed things with him. I try not to like whine on and on about it, because he's a man. He doesn't want to hear about it. And I don't know. I just think there's some things that your partner doesn't need to know. You know what I mean? I want him to think of me in a certain way, and I don't want to be whiny and weak. And I don't want him to worry about things that he shouldn't have to worry about. But I pretty much told him, I'm going to the doctor tomorrow. I'm going to talk to him about so-and-so, so-and-so. And, so that morning when I weighed, I told him, I said, oh my God, I think it's the most I have ever weighed. Now, I may have weighed more when I just wasn't weighing myself, but it's the most that I had ever weighed. And so he was like, trying to console me, saying this and that and this, and trying to make me feel better. And, I just told him, I said, I deserve every pound. I deserve every pound. I was the one eating banana bread, cinnamon buns, French fries, things that I normally don't eat. What else? Ice cream. Just all of these things that didn't even really make me feel good. They make you feel good in the moment. And I was just talking to Morgan about that the other day. We were talking about weight and everything. I said, why isn't it crazy that something that you just eat for it's just in your mouth for that certain amount of time, but yet you're willing to sabotage the way you feel the other, let's just even say 23 hours of the day. It is just so crazy to me. But I know it's just, there's so much more to it. There's the looking up to, you always, we're going to eat so-and-so tonight, so you look forward to that meal. Then, you're sitting with your family or your friends, and you're all talking about how good it is. And then there's the feeling afterwards. There's those definite endorphins that just gives you that comfort and good feeling after you eat them. So I know there's more to it, but I think the thing is you have to replace those feelings with other things that make you feel good. Like Brooke and I have talked about doing a vision board, because I have all kinds of pictures in my phone that I can look at, and I get inspired, and I'm thinking, I want to be this size, I want to look like this. But if they're not, in my face, I don't see them. Even when I had one as my screensaver, now I have a picture of Brooke, but that even helped just to see that every day. So I do know that it's more than just those few minutes. And I even know things to do. It's just all about doing them. And so we'll get into that maybe a little bit more later. We'll talk about weight loss some more later. But today what I wanted to talk about is self-awareness. And so I've written down a few notes, just subjects to talk about so I wouldn't forget. And I hope I won't ramble too much. But part of these kind of talks is I don't want it to be too like bullet point. I wanted it to be like from my heart. So weight loss is the first one. I have no one to blame. I deserve every pound. I cannot even blame the IBS because the unfortunate thing is the way that I can eat that makes me feel the best. And I was doing this right before the whole COVID thing, and I think I was about maybe 10 pounds lighter than I am right now. And I was feeling so good. I was looking forward to going out of town and going to that reward style conference. I had a bunch of clothes that I was really inspired to wear. And it was like, getting excited about something. So it was kind of worth it to me. And then when the COVID thing started, I think I tried to stick with it for about 2 weeks. And it was I just let go. And so I have myself to blame. I cannot blame menopause. I cannot blame the coronavirus. I cannot blame the IBS or how I can't eat, because that's the one that if I had to blame the most, I feel like it's so hard for me to eat healthy when you can't eat fresh fruits and vegetables. And even like, I know you'll say, try this, try that. Even the chicken salad that I loved so much from Chicken Salad Chick, the one, I can't remember, I think it was Fancy Nancy that had the apples in it. Even that upsets my stomach. Even one night I was totally cheating, and had one of my favorite pizzas is pepperoni and pineapple. Paid for that. Luckily, I realized like halfway through eating that pizza, wow, there's a lot of pineapple on here. I haven't had this in a long time. And I was like, oh my gosh, maybe I shouldn't be eating this. So I ended up of course I didn't stop eating it, period. I just started taking the pepperoni and the cheese off of it and ate it that way. So, I've had to really, really adjust to that. And I am trying something now that may help me. I already take Align. I already take Benefiber. I already have gone through the FODMAPs. When somebody says FODMAP to me, it's like that. It's almost like a kick in my stomach or something, because I have done the FODMAP and I have discovered that these things make my stomach hurt and make me, have all these symptoms. But getting back to the whole self-awareness is, like yesterday, I just told myself, you are not going to die by not eating certain vegetables. I'm hoping to maybe I'm going to try again, just like canned green beans and peas, and maybe some things that are like really cooked down a lot. I'm dreading it because I still feel like they might upset my stomach, but I'm going to try. But I love that whole Atkins thing. I love eating. I'm a meat eater anyway. It does not bother me. I love eating nuts. I can only eat some of them. And, another thing is I've already had a colonoscopy. So this is something that I just really started talking about here on YouTube maybe a year ago, but it's something that has been going on for years, and I've been going to doctors for years. So don't think I just, haven't really tried. So anyway, that is what I'm doing, is I'm getting back to eating what makes me feel better. And you guys, really, eating low carb and almost no carb really does make me feel so much better in so many ways. So that's what I'm doing, and I already lost 2 pounds from yesterday. So that goes to show you, it was probably a lot of water weight, and so I'll keep you posted on that stuff. But I want to go into some other areas where self-awareness and being able to really reflect on, the faults of myself have helped me. And YouTube is one of those places in so many areas. And, I hate to really focus on YouTube, but this is a big, big part of my life. It's a big happy place, and rarely does anything happen here make me sad. But there are things that I have had to really, be self-aware and like, what part have I played in this? And one of those is, like I'm not really competitive, but anytime I see someone that may be doing more, doing better, excelling, I have to think to myself, they're working harder. They're putting in way more hours than you are. And that's fine with me. I don't think that that's a better thing. I have to just remind myself, they're working so much harder than you are. You are doing so good. You love this, and you're having time to spend with your family, and you're being able to, like, Instagram is a big thing. I know that I should do more on Instagram, but some nights I just do not even feel like I will put my phone up and not even pick it up for hours, especially if Brooke's home. If Brooke's away, then a lot of times I'll check it more. But there are nights that I will come in, put my purse down, and do not even take my phone out of my purse for hours and hours until maybe after my shower or something. So to me, that is a good thing. And I don't mind the fact that I don't have more Instagram followers and my page doesn't look perfect and everything, because I'm just personally not willing to give up that freedom, free time, and worry. It's something that I do enjoy doing when I want to do it. So, that's something that I've had to face. And I could get really upset, and it still bothers me to the core. It bothers me in my heart that I was hacked and my first Instagram page was taken from me. I had like 40-some thousand followers. That's not that much, but I feel like I had earned those followers, and there were so many posts on that Instagram that I will never get back. I had a lot of times when I'm on the plane, what I'll tell myself is when I get on the plane, I'm going to empty out my photos, and I'll start at the beginning, and I will delete as many pictures as I can because I hoard photos so bad. And so I had really gotten rid of a lot of photos that meant a lot to me because I knew they were on my Instagram, and I felt like, I have my Instagram forever. But even that, where's my self-awareness? Where's my accountability? I am the one who clicked on the link. I am the one who knew not to click on a random link. The whole email looked hokey. It didn't make sense that they were being so demanding for me to look at their page, and I did it. So it's my fault. So I can't sit here and cry about it. And so I have to do that. It's like that's so easy to let something upset you or think, it's not fair, which I can remember the first time I said it's not fair, and my mom told me, life's not fair. You can't go through thinking everything's supposed to be fair, and you can't let the fact that something isn't fair, bother you, hold you down. Don't use that as an excuse. And so I had to just start a new Instagram, and I had to start fresh, and I've actually enjoyed it. I've really enjoyed, I don't know, would I rather have my other one? Of course, I'd rather that whole thing not happen, but it hasn't all in all been a bad experience. A first marriage. I will probably touch on this so many different ways. I have no hard feelings towards my first husband. I have not even laid eyes on him since before I met Jon. And, we didn't have any children, so it was pretty much a clean break. But I really owe him so much because I don't think I would be with Jon because he is so different. There could not be any more opposites than my first husband and Jon. There just couldn't be. And I feel like, and I was thinking this the other day when, I can't remember what it was. It was somebody on TV, and I was thinking, I've always been attracted to bad boys. And I was thinking, but that doesn't mean that's what I need. Because just because you're attracted to something doesn't mean it's really a good fit for you. And so I went through that whole marriage, and there's so many different things that I could talk about, and I will. But it wasn't clear to me until, I would say, I don't know, maybe a year or something after that I really took the time to talk to myself and say, that was your fault. That was your fault. It was not his fault. You are the one who married him. You knew who he was. He did not change. You should have never expected him to change. And that was all your fault. And let's just be glad that we're done with it. Let's just learn from it. And let's use all those things that you learned to make your life better. And that is what I did. And it's worked out so good. And I'm just so happy. I'm really so happy in my life. I'm just so thankful that I feel like I did a lot of praying, and I feel like I really got back to what was important to me after that divorce and being alone. And I did a lot of praying, and I feel like God led me back to my parents, and he helped me figure out what was important to me. And it was just like from then on, I just feel like things have been totally different in my life. And I really wish, I think sometimes it's stuff that happens when you mature, but I really wish it would have happened sooner, but I'm just so thankful that it happened to me when it did. So that is a big, big, big thing where my self-awareness helped me make a beautiful life for myself. And I'm going to go into like some different things that I did from that we'll talk about later. And I have down here first marriage, and then I have current marriage. Even now today, like John's at the dentist now, but even now today, like we do not ever fight. I don't know if we've ever had a fight that lasted overnight or even more than, I would say, I don't even know, maybe an hour or 2 hours at the most. I think the most we ever bickered back and forth would have been when the kids were little, like when we had babies. And that was just because I think we were both just so, I was a stay-at-home mom, so I felt that pressure. And then he was working hard, and then, different things. That's something else I'd love to talk about. But so back then, I think we used to bicker maybe a little bit more about just different little things. But what I always try to do is, like I've said, my mom always says he's just a man, meaning that we think totally different. We not only do a man and woman think differently, but John and I think so differently. We're just, I don't know, we laugh about it really because we're so different. Sometimes he'll say, it was something I just told him last night, and I know what it was. It was about a friend who'd been in an accident, and I was telling him about it, and he was already, well, how could that happen? If they got hit in the side, how could they do this, this, and this? And I was like, I never even thought about that. He analyzes things where I analyze things, but it takes a while, and it has to be something I really think about. I don't know. We're just different in a lot of ways. And so now, when we argue about something, I try to really think and be self-aware and think to myself, am I being too sensitive? Is this really worth, arguing over? Or, I try to think to myself, how he thinks. And then you still said this, this, and this. And you should have known he was going to act this way. I try to really, really, really think about it. Was there anything that I could have done different? Is there even anything that I could do now? Like, so what if I feel like he overreacted about something little? I'll think to myself, I'm just going to go apologize. And it doesn't always mean you have to say, I'm sorry. But it could mean, hey, I'm sorry that we're arguing right now or something. It doesn't really happen that often. I can think of just like a handful of times. But, I do say, I'm sorry. This is something that I try to say. I'm sorry that I upset you. I'm sorry that, this, and this was said. And usually what that'll lead to is a little discussion. And by the end of it, like 10 minutes later, everything's fine. It even bounces back better than fine. Every time I feel like we grow from it and we become closer. And I even try to do that with the children. I try to think, like with Brooke, she's so emotional. She's just so different than I am. I am so black and white, and she's so dreamy and emotional. I call her my little gypsy. And so sometimes she'll ask me something and I'll just blurt something out. Or sometimes I'll say something to her and it needs to be said. I mean, I really feel it and I really feel like I need to say it to her. But then, it hurts her feelings. And I will say, I'm sorry if I hurt your feelings. I didn't mean to be so blunt or something. And then that's good, because then that, kind of starts a discussion again, and we can really discuss it and, get our feelings out, and I can really get my point across. So that is, I'll just end on that. I could go on and on about so many different things, but that something has really, really, really helped me not hold negative feelings about myself. It has helped me see the bright side of things. It has helped me understand people that have hurt my feelings or things that have happened to me in the past. It has helped all of my relationships. It has helped me here on YouTube so much. I mean, even with negative comments or haters, which I don't know, what else can we call them? Trolls, haters, you know what I'm talking about. But you guys know in the beginning, I would read one bad comment or one thing, and in my head, I would feel like everyone thought that way. And one day, someone that I really like, one of my subscribers, said, it's kind of insulting to the rest of us for you to spend so much time talking about the negative people. And I was like, you know what? You're right. That is so rude. That is so rude for me to take the time away from the people that are here, that want to be here and want to talk with me and talk about makeup and all the things that we love. Why would I take time away from those people to talk about the negative things? And that was just such a good thing I hope that you're still out there. And it was such a good thing for me to hear. That is just such a good thing for me to think about, things that I was doing. I was taking those negative comments way too seriously. I was spending too much time, and I was taking away from the people that I love, and that, even Jon, why should I burden him with something stupid that someone said to me? So now I never even tell him anything unless it's something funny, because I do get some the things people come up with are hilarious. And so I do share some funny comments every once in a while, but so that has really helped me too. So that is just something I wanted to share with you. I really hope that even if it just helps, a few people, I think it will be worth it. And I think it opens up such a wonderful, healthy discussion when we talk about things like this. So thank you so much for being here, and thank you for my great response. I don't know what to really call these videos. I was thinking story times, because I always do have stories, but then it's not the typical story time. It's not always going to be funny or something like that. But so if you have any ideas, let me know. And as far as my outfit of the day, like I told you, I'm not feeling my best, but I do just still have on, one of my black dresses that I wear all the time, because that's just something that I feel best in right now. As soon as I get to feeling better, then I will probably I've got so many new dresses and things. So thank you guys. Oh, and accessories, I have on a pair of Sheila Fajl hoops. I love these. They have it's like a little coiling or something around them. Oh, and my nails. I am going to do a nail video coming up soon. I don't know if I'm going to do a whole nail video where I put them on, because I feel like Tiffany D's video where she did them is exactly how I do them. But I do have some tips that I've been making a list, some tips that I want to give you that I have found that help me. And this is Cajun shrimp, one of my favorites. My ring is the one that my parents gave me. It is a vintage cornflower sapphire in a rose gold setting. And my necklace, okay, these two are the ones that I'm never taking off. I get a lot of questions about this one, and it's just a herringbone necklace that I had when I still lived at home. So I moved out when I was 19, just about to turn 20. So the summer of me being 19. And so I've had this a long time. So I just put it back on, and I'll link this down below. And this is from HRH. This is something from long ago too. And my necklace is a real gold necklace. I think it's 10 karat gold. and I got it from Walmart. And I was thinking it was probably sold out, but I looked last time and they still have it. I love this necklace. I think it's so cool. I love that it's twinkly and you can layer anything over it, and I think it's fabulous. And it does not get tangled up. I think it's because of the way it's like on different little loops right here. And so I love that. And I do have on, we went to the beach. Brooke and I went to the beach on Memorial Day, and I'm so bummed because we were planning on going Monday too, so we didn't stay very long. On Sunday, I wish I would have stayed a little bit longer, but then it ended up raining Monday to now, and it had rained a bunch of days before then. But anyway, so my fault for not staying longer. And but I did get a little bit of sun, and I'm wearing that Tarte bronzer. I hate to say it has replaced my Laura Geller, but I'm really loving it, and I think it has more staying power, so I'll list that down below too. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you on Friday. Bye-bye.